Hi, it's me, Annoy here. Thank you for coming to see my channel. So today I'm making another video where I'm sitting down because I'm not feeling very strong today as I had chemo yesterday. So first, before I actually go on with my today's YouTube video, which is going to be 10 things I hate and love about my hubby. We have been together over 10 years. So what I wanted to say is that my last video I was very down and I got such an overwhelming response back. Everybody who commented were so nice to me and so positive, encouraging, and like hugging me emotionally, virtual hug. So I was reading those comments yesterday when I was heading to the chemo, and I just I just felt so much better. So thank you, a lot of thank you. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that somebody commented that sometimes you guys don't get my video messages or my video upload messages of me uploading a video. Well, that's not good. So and they have to kind of go and try to find my video, try to see if I upload or did I not upload or what's going on. So I'm going to make one system. I'm going to say it only one time. I'm not going to make any changes to it. Considering that sometimes I'm sick and sometimes I feel better, I'm going to upload definitely every Monday. So every single Monday there's going to be an upload, and I'm going to do them a little bit ahead of time. So even if I'm feeling really down, there's going to be an upload coming on Monday. And then if I still make other videos, then they're going to be either then Tuesday, and then if I have another video on Wednesday and Thursday. So basically some days I'm going to have videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. And some weeks I might only have on Monday, but at least it gives you some sort of kind of security that okay, on Monday she definitely does upload, and very unlikely that she uploads is the end of the week, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it means that I would have to upload from every single day of that week, which is like unlikely. And then the last announcement is that I changed my YouTube name a little bit. So now my YouTube name is I Knew Cancer Expedition. So the reason I did it is because I realized that if you type in only I Knew, I'm not going to come up, and you're going to have to kind of struggle to find my name. My YouTube channel is going to pop up, and I'm not going to change my YouTube channel name ever again. So now, if you just know my YouTube channel name, you're going to always be able to check my channel. Okay, so let's get to today's video. So today's video, as I said, what I hate about my hobby and what I love about my hobby. I'm going to do first what I don't like about my hobby, what I hate about it. I don't know if I hate is really maybe strong word, but like something that annoys me, but I put up with it, and I'm still together with him because the things that annoy me, the things that annoy me actually are overweighed by the things that I do like about him. It was an interesting experiment for me to do, to kind of search how I feel about my hobby, and I kind of recommend everybody who are in a relationship to do it about their partners, to kind of realize what you prioritize about the other person. Okay, so first thing I don't like is that he leaves socks everywhere. Like, he comes home from work, he takes socks off wherever he might be, living room or in a den or just kitchen, and just leaves his socks lying around. And sometimes there's like several pairs of socks because I haven't picked them up, and so I try to pick them up, but it's something that I don't necessarily want to do, and he doesn't like. Then can be like 5 pairs of socks before he thinks that okay, it's time to pick them up. And the crazy stuff is that my daughter Uma is doing the same thing when she wears socks with her shoes, most of her shoes, and whenever she comes home she just takes them off again, what arbitrary room, and there's always her socks everywhere. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, I have to pick them up and then take them to the laundry basket, right? Okay, so the second thing is slightly more serious. I think he doesn't really know, my hubby doesn't really know how to deal with emotions. And this is something that is somewhat typical to some men. I'm not saying to all men, but it can be. And emotion IQ is somewhat lower than my emotion IQ. Which is, to me, it's odd, but I think it's something how men are sometimes raised, where they're not supposed to show that they are sad or crying or something like that. And yeah, I think that's kind of sad, and I wish he would know more, but I feel like he's such an old dog that he's not going to learn the new tricks. Yeah, and that sometimes I just I don't know, it annoys me, and I also feel sad about it. Yeah. So a third thing I don't like is that he has really poor organizational skills. He never puts anything back to its place because he doesn't have place for things. And so often I create a place for his stuff, and then he then knows where it is, then he uses it, whatever that item might be. He doesn't put it back, and then if I haven't had time to put that item back, then he comes and asks where his stuff is. I know where everything is in the house, and he never knows where everything is. Some things he knows because I keep putting stuff back, and over time he kind of learns. But it's kind of annoying for me to pick up and put stuff back, and it's ridiculous. It's just on the other hand, so basically it means that he's somewhat messy. On the other hand, I think, and that's actually a two-sided coin, and I'm going to talk about it later. He builds up things inside of him, he doesn't say it, he doesn't say anything if something annoys him, and then he kind of lets things go and go and go, and it's just the other person doesn't know, and it just gets worse and worse and worse sometimes because he just doesn't say anything, and then it gets completely out of hand, and then he blows up and gets really upset. It's just you could realize this and talk about it earlier, but he says, oh, I don't really like confrontation and this and that. I'm like, oh, that's just annoying. So another thing is that he doesn't like change. He wants things to be the same, literally, especially bad. In one way, I don't really care if he buys something, then he always going to have that item, and if he gets into a routine, he's always going to have a very strong routine. But on the other hand, if we need to change that routine, then he doesn't want to change that routine. Uh, and other thing is, oh my god, if he sees this video, it's going to be so pissed at me. Other thing I think might be is he doesn't like to make decisions. Like he keeps putting them on. Like the bigger the decision, the harder it is. You know, hello, we're still not married. Like, come on, you know. It's like, yeah, like things like that, that nature. The other thing is that he doesn't really talk much or at all. Like he's very, very quiet. And also this is again a two-coin thing, that something about this I actually like about him. But because of that, he doesn't really, and I think it's also related to the fact that he doesn't know really his emotions, or he's not in a good contact with his emotions. He like doesn't actually hug me or show that he cares about me. Like so people show love in a different ways. Like it can be that they show love by doing something for you, like something you need to get done, or some people give gifts, they show love like that. Some people do it by talking, they constantly talk to you about, you know, let you know verbally. And then I think some people also show love by, you know, physical contact, like hugging and things like that. So I think my hubby shows love by doing things for me, like big things that are very good for me. But at the same, like actually, so I know that he loves me and cares about me. But at the same time, you know, sometimes I wish like he would like show it also verbally, or just give me a hug or something. He doesn't do it, but it's just how it is. He's super stingy, and if you tell him that he's stingy, he's going to tell you like, oh, thank you for the compliment. Like he's like, he thinks like he's proud that he's stingy. Like he is super stingy. Like yeah, like it's crazy. And the very last thing is he doesn't like closeness. Like if he feels like you get very close to him, he pushes you away. But then if you're away, he kind of comes and follows you around, like wants you to come closer back. But then if you come too close again, he pushes you away again. And it took me like forever and ever to figure that stuff out, that he actually cares about me, but it's just him, this is how he is, and he can't really help about it. I believe I talked about it when I was talking about my marriage situation, and during the cancer time, there was like I talked about the book, and there was like research done that some people just are like that, and they can't help it. And so now when I know about it, I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I just do my thing, and I'm like, you know, whatever. You come closer, don't come closer. I don't care, you know. But yeah, it took me some time to figure that thing out. And now let's get to the good part. Right, so one of the good part is, again, I said, right, what I don't like, that he doesn't say much, that he doesn't talk almost at all. But I also like this. I actually, like I would wish that he would say nice things to me, but at the same time, I actually prefer that he doesn't talk much, because I was with somebody one time, long time ago, who kept like blah 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 blah, constantly talking, and it was so annoying because it's so much harder to listen than it is to talk. And so I'm completely fine with him being silent. So I'm like, okay, if he doesn't tell me nice things every now and then, I will take that, as long as he just shuts up and leaves me alone. So another thing what I like about his, we have similar world view. We have similar world view, political views. Like it's very, I guess, important. Like we would vote for the same president. I think we're quite similar in a lot of ways how we see things. And I think actually quite compatible. Not always. Quite a lot of things. Another thing what I really like about him, that he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he is healthy, he works out. He has actually, yeah, so that's something I really like, because I really wouldn't like a hubby who just sits around, watches football and TV and drinks beer, because I don't really do that, and I don't really like that he would do that either. So another thing what I like about him is that he's always doing something. Like like he taught me that doing is living, and I totally agree with him, and he really keeps doing stuff all the time. He does it slowly, but like he's not like and there's going to be like a video where I'm going to show that he built like a huge extra part on our home. When I'm going to do like a house tour, a part of house tour, he did it almost completely on his own. It's completely not done yet, but it's getting there. He's just slowly doing it, or he's fixing his car, or like I like right. And so actually that leads me to the next thing, that he can fix like anything. He's very, very good at stuff, fixing things, building things, mechanically, very, very oriented. And I actually like it. I don't know if it's one thing or like, he's very manly in that sense, that he smells like oil. Like he's actually like an experimental physicist, but he does the same kind of building and oil stuff and crap also in the lab. Like that's like, he also uses all this knowledge, all this good mechanical knowledge in the work. Like I would put it all together that he can build anything, and I admire that. Another thing is, remember I said that I don't like that he's messy, but on the other hand, it has been proven that messy people actually tend to be more creative. And so I think the way it almost is that he almost needs for his area, like his office or work area or something, to be kind of a little bit messy, because he sees new things out of that mess. I have to say it. Like if everything is organizedly put together, then you don't necessarily see something new out of that mess. But if things are like all over the place, then your creative mind kind of needs them to be all here, there, everywhere. And I think it's not so much as also with just with material things, but also kind of the way maybe the mind works to create something new. Like, yeah. It's kind of weird, but that's how I kind of see it. I think he's very, very patient. He can play with our daughter for hours. Like, I'm not that patient. Although if he, again, it's kind of like, if something builds up, then if he's done, he's done. But he can be really, really patient sometimes. Like, it takes a long time for him to kind of lose it. But when he loses it, then it's kind of not appropriate. Another thing is, I noticed that he changes himself or improves himself if I explain why, if I logically, calmly explain why something would be necessary for him to do, and like he tries to meet that. Like, yeah, I feel like I sometimes get through him. But only if I very quietly, calmly, logically explain things. I do get like things do improve sometimes. So he likes to travel. He has really a travel bug, and thanks to him liking the traveling so much and me being with him, I have been able to travel a lot thanks to being with him. So that's nice. That's not bad at all. And let's say the last thing is that he cares about animals. Although sometimes I feel like he might like animals more than people, but that's when he gets upset. but he does like animals really. So the thing is that he grew up vegetarian, but his brothers didn't stay vegetarian, but he did, and I think it's because he cares about animals that much. Like he has that inner intelligence to see why it's inappropriate to eat animals. Like, yeah. So, and one last note is that what I want to talk about vegetarianism, just push it in there. I know all of you guys are not vegetarians, and you don't have to. I think over time it's going to be that vegetarians are going to be the majority, and the reason why I didn't care about it is like that is because our civilization has developed in a way where we cause less suffering, less pain. If you think back hundreds of years ago, we used to be quite nasty even towards each other. We would punish people in prisons, or we would basically basic human rights have come a long way. And I feel that it's also as we continue to develop, we're probably going to not hide or are not able to overlook the fact that we torture animals to get the food, even though it's not necessary to eat the food at all, the meat at all. I have high hopes for our civilization. Okay, thank you for watching. Remember, subscribe. I know Cancer Expedition.